Okay, so I want to make this one for the evening. First, I want to explain a couple of things. No, RNA does not deal with immunity. T cells do. Learn about it. There is no such thing as human pheromone um, sensory. It doesn't exist. We don't have the capabilities to deal with that. So, whoever told you human pheromones were a thing, they took you for a fool and they may have gotten you for a while. But I'm here to tell you it's time to wake up. Biological sex is a social construct. Um, it is based on the classical notion of sex, which is a ancient and primitive um, cousin to gender, which have often been loosely related to anatomy, but more related to cultural nuances. And since culture isn't biology, I'm just saying. Also, um, for the people in the back, the nuanced term biological sex is a neologism, which was recently created to co-opt sex into modern science. And the reason is because sex and use of sex and gender is a classist um, system within the patriarchy. And when when sex was co-opted to represent biology, it was co-opted around the time of the women's voting rights. So it had very clear um, purposes, obvious. You know, we have a classist system that puts women under men, and then sex is something that says you are a woman, then you link it to biology. Not that was ever linked to it, but now you do. And all of a sudden, you have an excuse to enforce your classist norms, where before they would have died down. I'm sorry to break your heart, but that's the honest to God truth. Does that mean there's no such thing as biology? Certainly not. Biology exists. I mean, you have flies that conceive. Um, Ovaries in a womb allow a person to give birth. There's no denying that. But to equate that to gender or sex is just plain fallacy. And it's where a lot of the problems we have today are coming from. Next. I've heard recently that marriage is supposed to have structure. So let me clarify a lot of this and just put it to rest. Um, Marriage, religion, anything of that nature is negotiable in social settings. Meaning, as we grow up as a species and as a culture, we evolve to develop newer, more robust means of structure that go beyond the simplicity that our ancestors did. We don't, we don't pray to the Greek gods anymore. We don't have polygamy, like patriarchal polygamy, anymore, at least not as a norm. So, you know, no, marriage is not a necessary structure. Neither is Christianity or any of the Abrahamic religions. The fact of the matter is, we don't need them to determine um, how to live and how to live better. Well, it's true, like certain clinical psychologists and the like will tell you you need structure in your life, and you do. You need to be able to set schedules, you need to be able to go to sleep and get up. There is no doubt. But this is far different from being bound to an age-old, dusty way of life. Our ancestors did not have indoor heating. They did not have any of the luxuries. They did not have planes. They did not have cars. And while things like religion served as crutches, the same way things like ancient Greek religion and ancient Arabian and Islamic and Semitic cultures and forms of marriage served as crutches for those societies, they eventually died out and gave way to modern perception. And the modern perception will, as society demands it, give out and give way to a newer way of doing things. That's just the nature of life. So in biology, as so as in biology, it will be in society and in the individual and in the culture. They will all evolve in their due time and change under that evolution. That's just a matter of fact.